Hello, Kim Townsel here. Welcome back to my channel. Do you like split pea soup? Do you like leeks? Do you know what a leek is? This video is going to show you how to make split pea soup with these ingredients. I'm going to use 2 packs of ground chicken and a pack of split peas and a pound of carrots and 3 leeks. They look like big onions, don't they? They actually are like big onions, but much smaller. For this soup, I'm using 3 leeks. At my store, they can package like that, and I will wash them and cut this part off and that part off, and then just slice everything up and put it in the soup. And what I found out is they tend to cook away, so you don't even have to bite anything. It gives it a very mild onion-like flavor, but without the bitterness and the sting. And they don't even burn your eyes when you're cutting them. I'm using a 1 pound pack of organic whole carrots. I will peel those and slice the ends off, just cut them in small, irregular sized pieces. I'm using 1 pack of split pea soup. It's 1 pound. And these do not require any soaking. So all you have to do is to rinse them, examine, make sure there's no weird things in there. And I never find any weird things in there. Then just add them to the recipe and you're good to go. These are cool because it has 90 calories per serving, and I'm going to try to probably get 10 to 12 servings out of this, and 9 grams of protein per serving. That's really, really high. And it doesn't give you much calcium, but it does have 8% of the iron per serving, so that's pretty cool. And it gives you 36% of your dietary fiber per 1/4 cup container. So that's really, really, really good. I'm using ground chicken for this. Normally I cook with ground turkey, but they didn't have any ground turkey. It's November, so I guess they're like not grinding their turkeys up. They're probably selling them whole, because you know what Americans do with turkeys in November. So I got this. I've never used this before. It's Purdue Harvest Land ground chicken. It has no antibiotics. The chickens are fed an all-vegetarian diet, no animal products. So let's see what the nutritional label says for these. It has 4 servings per container, so I may only get 8 servings out of this soup. We'll have to see. 170 calories per serving and 22 grams of protein per serving. And meat products are not going to give you any vitamin C because they're not a citrus fruit or vegetable. It's going to give you 6% of the iron. So this is gonna be a really good source of iron by the time I get through making this. And it's also going to be a good source of vitamin A, because carrots are a good source of vitamin A. This 1 serving is 1 carrot, I guess, and it's only 30 calories, but it gives you 110% of your vitamin A for the day, 2% of iron, and a little bit of calcium. And I'll have to look up the leeks because I don't remember those by heart. 1 whole leek has about 54 calories. It's not a great source of protein, but it does have a little bit. It's a pretty good source of vitamin A with 29% of the RDA, a little bit of calcium with 5%, and a pretty good source of vitamin C at 17%. It's actually easier to sort the beans, or what people call sorting them, just by checking them and make sure there's nothing weird in there while they're dry. And then I can just run some water over them, drain the water off, and add it to my crock pot. Look at this beautiful source of protein, iron, and fiber. And it's cheap. Don't try to put the split peas in a colander like this, because they're just going to get stuck in the holes in there. If you have one that has smaller holes than this, then it might work. But I'm just going to very carefully put the camera down and pour the water off, and then put the peas in my crock pot. It's not going to matter if some of this water gets in there, because they're not really dirty. And even if they are, it's not going to kill me. There's some peas left in there, and I could just scrape them out with my hands. I'll mix a little bit of water in here and get the rest of them out, because I'm going to have to add water to this soup anyway. Wash the carrots off a little bit, let them soak in the water for just a second, because there's no vitamins that are going to leak out into the water. Vitamin A is in this, and it is a fat-soluble vitamin. I'm not soaking them in any fat so that the vitamin A can leak out into the fat. What vitamin A is going to leak out into the soup will be soaked up into the soup. That's the beauty about making soups, is you don't lose a lot of your nutrients. I'm going to wash off the leeks. These are actually pretty clean. Sometimes they have a little bit of dirt down at the end. Sometimes when you cut this part off, there's going to be a little dirt in there. They're super simple to cut out. And I'll just take that piece right there off and discard it. I've never used this brand of ground chicken before, so we're going to go on this adventure together. Isn't it exciting? I'm cooking both packs in an electric skillet, just on a medium heat. I'm going to cook it until it's pretty brown, because you can't get any browner after you put it into the soup. I just cut off the end of the leek, and then I'm going to use about this much of it. Some people don't like using the green part. If it's too tough, then you just don't really want to use it, or you can cut up in smaller pieces. Since I hate waste, I'm just not going to use these parts up here that are super, super tough. I'll cut all 3 pieces into lengths about that long. That's what they look like, all cut up to me. And like I said, it doesn't matter to me what size they are, because they mostly cook away. It just gives it like a nice little slightly oniony flavor. These don't burn my eyes when I cut them up. So I really like cooking with them more than onions. They cost more than onions though. I didn't stir this while I was cutting up the leeks, and it stuck a little bit to the skillet. It seems like this brand of chicken, or maybe just ground chicken, sticks to the skillet a little bit more than the ground turkey that I normally do. I normally use the butterball ground turkey. So maybe it's just a difference in the type of meat. But I like to get mine a little brown. Like I said, you can't get it brown once you add it to the soup or the stew. So I do that browning part while it's in the electric skillet. It gives it a little bit extra flavor to me. After removing the skins, I just cut both ends off, and I'm going to cut these into small pieces. I really don't want them too small, because I want to see a little bit of color in this split pea soup, and the carrots are going to be about the only thing that gives it any kind of color. I'm not a big fan of carrots. I really don't like eating them raw. They're okay like cooked in soups and stews, and when they're cooked in a roast. But I'm going to leave these sizes, I'm going to leave them pretty big, because everything in the split pea soup is going to be kind of mushy, and this is going to be the only thing that gives it a little bit of chewy texture. The carrots are in. That's already looking so pretty, isn't it? Now I'm going to add the ground chicken. All of my ingredients are in except for adding water. I have some little bits stuck to the bottom of the electric skillet. I'm going to add water in here, bring it like to a boil or a simmer, because sometimes the best way to get something off of a skillet or a pot is the same way you got it on there. That's going to get the rest of these flavorful bits of meat into the water, and then I'll add the water to the crock pot. I only added 2 cups of water because I want to have a manageable amount of water when I lift the skillet to pour it into the crock pot. And you can see how easily that got all those little stuck-on bits up. Now I won't have to scrape them or wash them, and they're all going to go into my soup. I just added some more water. If you've seen any of my other crock pot recipes, you know that normally I fill it to the top. I put a lot more ingredients than this in there. I'm probably going to have to add some more water, because these peas are going to soak up a lot of water. So I think I'll go ahead and add another 2 cups to get it up to there. I'm going to leave it on high for a couple of hours while I do some chores in the house. Then I'm going to cut it on low and leave it on low all night long. I'll get up in the morning and put it into containers and put it into the freezer. Isn't that beautiful? If you want to get your temp up faster for the crock pot, then you can heat your water, bring it to a boil either on the stovetop or in the microwave before you add it in here. Or you can do it like I did, heat it up in the electric skillet and get the rest of those bits out and pour it in. It just brings it to a safe heat a little bit faster. Put the lid on here and we are good to go. I put my math in. There were 8 servings total for the ground for the ground chicken at 170 calories per, so that gives us a total of 1,360, and so on for the ground chicken, the carrots, the leeks, and the split peas package. So that totals up, if I do it by 10 servings, to give us 292 calories per serving, 30 grams of protein per serving, 3% of the calcium, RDA, and 19% of the iron per serving. So I made my labels for my 10 containers appropriately. I will let this cook all night long, and then in the morning I'll put the soup, I'll divide it up into 10 servings. I let it cook all night long on low, and this is what it looks like the next morning. The chicken didn't do like the turkey did and break down as much during cooking. I probably could have added another pack of split peas or less water to make it thicker. I think this is going to be fine for what I'm looking for. I'm trying to keep my weight down, so this is going to be a super low calorie soup. And it will also thicken up after it cools. It stays in the freezer for a little while. With carrots, that a nice touch of color. I ended up dividing this into 10 portions. I spoon them into the little freezer containers, and then I stack them single stack to let them cool off in the freezer, and then once they're frozen I will put them in an orderly fashion, but they freeze faster when they're spread out a little bit. Thank you for watching my video about my high protein split pea soup. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, giving the video a thumbs up, leaving a comment below. Share the video if appropriate. Remember, it's not hard to cook from scratch. It's not hard to eat healthy if you plan ahead. Until next time, take care. Bye.